In these times, men or just humans are getting a lot weaker. And these are habits that are making men weak. I don't want to speak on what are making ladies weak. I am a man, and so I will speak on things that I believe are making men weak because I've been weak. I've been the weakest. I've been the most sorry type of man on planet Earth. I've been bottom of the barrel. I've been a loser. I've been it. And so anytime I speak, it's not about, oh, I'm so much better than you. Do what I do. Shame on you. No, when I speak, it's, I've been worse than you. Like, I've been so much worse than you. Please avoid my stupidity. That's the message I'm trying to give to you when I speak. Avoid my stupidity. Not do what I do because I am so superior and I'm a king and I'm so much better than you. No, I've been worse than you. All right? In these times, it's tough. We have social media and we have these damn cellular devices that are ruining us. We're going to get into it, but before I do, if you didn't know, my name's Thompson. At 18, I joined the military. Didn't have anywhere else to go. I was a loser. I didn't really graduate with good grades, had no money, so I'm not going to college. Didn't have money for that. And I didn't know how to apply for financial aid. I didn't know what that was. So I'm like, well, military, bye-bye, gone. Straight to war, That's what I thought. And it was in the military. I got kicked out about 3 or 4 years in purposely because I had dreams and aspirations, because I had a lot of time to reflect why I was in the military. And so I had dreams and aspirations to just do something with my life. Lo and behold, I get out, and guess where I end up? Commercial gym as a janitor, scrubbing toilets, picking up bloody tampons, and delivering food on the side. I was door dashing on the side, and then I ended up learning how to sell memberships. I guess I had a knack for it, and I took that skill and I took it to an opportunity where the ticket was a lot higher, and I became the face of Brother Cosmetics and the VP of sales, and that's pretty much all I got. It's not an impressive backstory. And then I lost everything, and then I have to start from scratch. If you look at my old videos, you know that I am currently back working at a commercial gym, doing what I am good at, selling, trying to rebuild myself from scratch. And I don't believe in lying to you. I'm not going to sit here and tell you how to make $1 million. I've never seen $1 million. I will sit here and tell you how to become better because I've had to become better. That's the only thing I can speak on. And until I can make $1 million, you won't see me talk about how to get $1 million. I only speak on things that I can speak about, that I've learned, that I've been through, so that you can avoid it. First habit that makes men weak: not working hard enough. In anything that you do, I truly believe in just hustling, even if it's at your job. They say you change when you work harder on yourself than you do at your job or your work. I say you change when you can work hard at your job and work even harder on yourself. When you work hard, no matter where you're at, let's say you're an entrepreneur and you're working hard, you're doing it for you. So if you're reading and you're working hard and you're studying, and you're in school, you're doing it for you. If you're at a job and you are working hard, you are reinstating this disciplinary act of giving it 100%. Now, here's the thing. If you show up to work and you give it 50%, you are saying it is okay for me to give it 50% today. And so that becomes a pattern and a behavior that is acceptable. You begin to accept mediocrity. You get to say, oh, it doesn't matter. I'll give it 50%. And so now when you go to the gym and you train, you're like, I feel like giving it 50% today. When you give it 50% on anything, you reinstate the fact that it's okay to give it 50%. When you can say, no, I have to give it 100%. You reinstate the fact that you have to give it 100%. And so in every realm of human endeavor, you give it 100%. You give it 100% in your work. You give it 100% in self-development. You give it 100% in your reading, in your studying, in your learning. You give it 100% in what you do, your passion, your business. You give it 100% at your work. You give it 100% at the gym. You give it 100% in your relationships. You give it 100%, always. So I always believe that working hard is the best rule. You cannot disrespect anyone that works hard. It's very hard to just crap on somebody and talk down on somebody who has immaculate work ethic. It's really tough, man, because damn, you look at them, they're like, and you're just blown away, like they keep on going. Like, it's really hard to say that's a terrible thing. Like, it's really hard. Work hard. Men don't work hard enough nowadays because we're comfortable. And I've been comfortable. For the first time in years of ancestry, we are comfortable, the most comfortable we've ever been. There is no danger around me. I am inside the comfort of my own house. There is no danger here. Now, if this was back in the day when we had villages and there were predators in the nighttime ready to attack, there was no comfort. And so it was always hard work to hunt, hard work to stay aware, hard work to stay physically competent, hard work to be brave and courageous for the sake of the village and the tribe. We've never been weaker. Do the work and work extremely hard at whatever you do. What's the worst that's going to happen? You're going to get tired and do what? Go to sleep. Wake up. You'll be ready to go. Refreshed. Charge the battery. You're good. You're not going to die. And if you die, then it doesn't matter anyways. You're dead. So just work hard in everything that you do. Try your best in everything that you do. Give it 100%. Try. Next one is complaining. You can see how small your problems are if you just have the ability to zoom outwards. So let's say your car broke down and you think it's the end of the world. Zoom out. And zoom out. And now you just see you're a speck on this ginormous globe, this planet. You're a speck. And someone out here just lost their mother, their father. Someone out here just got shot. Someone out here just got evicted and is living under a bridge. Someone out here has had terrible things happen to them. And so your broken car is not that deep. Find a solution. Don't complain. When you complain, it's evident that you are not okay with the way your life is. And so how about you just take actions to change it? Take the proper steps, take action, and then change it. So if your car breaks down, instead of saying, oh my gosh, my car broke down, it's the end of the world, just say, well, okay, the car broke down, what can I do? Let's call somebody, boom. Call somebody, hey, what can we do to get this fixed? Oh, we can get this fixed, it'll cost this much. Do I have this much? Yes, I do, boom, done. There you go, solution found. Just takes time now. It's only a problem if you don't find a solution. The sooner you can find a solution, the less it becomes a problem, because now you have a solution. Problems are issues that can't be solved. So 99% of the things that happen in our lives aren't really problems. We just choose to let them be problems because we don't want to solve them. Because it's so draining and so tiring to solve them. Just don't complain. That's the second one. Next one. Third habit that are making men weak, having no control over our emotions and our impulses. There is nothing worse than a grown man acting like an infant boy. Any man who does not have the ability to control his emotions or his impulses are, one, not in tune with themselves, two, not fully developed psychologically, and three, weak. If someone angers you and you lash out at them, act out of anger, speak out of anger, you have zero control. And there is nothing more dangerous than a man with no control. You should be animalistic, primal, a machine capable of destruction, but you should have it harnessed. You should have it tamed. You should be able to be a warrior in a garden. If you don't have this under control, you have no idea how dangerous your anger, your sadness, you have no idea how dangerous it is. And you have no idea how it will destroy people in your life. Take it from me. In my life, I've had relationships where these women were great women to me. And I was just so angry and sad at the time because of the circumstances that I was in, or my circumstances and the situation and the problems that were happening and the conditions that my life was at, and the place that I was at in life. And I was so angry, I was so sad, and I took my anger and sadness out on them when they didn't deserve it. They did nothing wrong because I had no ability to control. And I've been impulsive. It ruined my momentum sometimes. I would be going good for 2-3 weeks and I'm progressing, and then I impulsively have this desire to do something that will cause me to self-destruct, and I act upon the impulse and then I self-destruct. And so it's so much harder to gain the momentum back again The whole idea of controlling your impulse is so that you don't lose momentum. There is nothing worse than having momentum and just going and then losing it. Because now the strength you have to develop to kind of start back up, crank the engine again, it's amplified. Now it takes longer. And yes, you have time. Yes, you have time. Okay, we get it. You have time, but my gosh, you could just avoid it by not losing the momentum. Avoid it. And you can avoid it by having your impulses controlled. You're going to want to act impulsively. You're going to want to do this. You're going to want to do this. It's going to be tempting to do this. It's going to be tempting to go out. It's going to be tempting to do some drugs. It's going to be tempting to drink. It's going to be tempting to do this. Just don't do it. Avoid that at all costs. Next one. Habits that are making men weak is pretending to be someone that you are not. If any of you have wondered why I speak the way I speak, I'll give you an idea because it's what is the conclusion that I've come to. When I was 18, I had no masculine role model and I had no sense of identity. I didn't even know what I was, who I was, where I was, how I was, nothing. Like zero. A mindless, robotic, humanoid slave. Like that's all I was. A mindless vessel acting unconsciously. And so my whole personality was a product of my unconscious. When I was able to reflect and become aware, I decided to create an identity for myself and I didn't know what to do. And so I was a product of my environment. I was a sponge. Since I knew nothing, I would look at everyone, like literally everyone, and try to learn something. Because I knew nothing. I would just look at them. I'm like, what can I learn from you? Can you teach me something, please? Like, please, I need help. And I hung around a lot of folks down south from Birmingham, Alabama, Montgomery, Tuscaloosa, Atlanta, PA, Mississippi. I hung around a lot of folks that grew up in the hood. And I am by no means someone that came up in the hood, man. I live in the suburbs, for crying out loud. My city is relatively nice. It's not the best, it's not the worst. It's okay. I tried so hard to fit in because I wanted to be like one of them, to be accepted. Because I felt like no one accepted me my whole life. And so I'm like, okay, if I fit in with you guys, then I'll be accepted. Fell in and realized they just messed with me because I was just cool. I didn't have to put up a front. And so I faked the way I talked. I talked in this terrible Southern accent. It was so bad. You can still hear it lingering still because that's how much I forced it when I was 19 to about 23, 22. It was really bad. I've only recently, for the past year and a half, tried my best to get rid of it because it was fake. And so right now, this is the most authentic form of speaking. Like this, me speaking, this is as authentic as I can get. Like as close as I can get. It used to be really bad. And I was trying to be someone I wasn't. I was trying to be this hyper aggressive, macho dude from the streets. And it just didn't work because people saw right through. And I didn't have a stack of evidence to back it up either. And so when you pretend to be someone you're not, you become a fraud. When you just act and do things because that's who you are and you have a stack of evidence to back it up, then you're good. How I move now is I ask, do I have a stack of evidence to back up why I am like this? If the answer is yes, I'm like, okay, then I'm not a fraud because I have evidence. I know I can back it up. I think what's making men weak is this constant desire to be someone that they're not. Like, just be you. People are much smarter than you think, and they can see right through your facade. They can see right through the fraudulent image and this fake persona that you put out. They see right through, which is why I believe in authenticity. Like, I try to be as authentic as I can here. In a world full of frauds and people that you can't trust, I hope that I can be the one person that you trust. I share with you my defeats. I share with you what I'm going through. I share with you that I am not a multimillionaire. I am, as of right now, I am considered a loser. And I will build myself back up. Because I've been a fraud. I get it. And so please avoid that. Please avoid being a fraud. Next one. And this one should be a no-brainer. I don't know why so many people are scared to talk about this because I'm pretty sure every man has done it. It's just avoid porn and masturbation. Like every man has watched a video and every man has played with the chicken. Like, okay. And every man knows how disgusting it feels. Okay, just don't do it. This is the next thing that's making so many men weak because we have access to so many things that will instantly gratify us. It's so easy to feel this dopamine hit, like so extremely easy. It's not really the best thing for us. Porn ruins your mind. Hey, I've been there. I was addicted to women at one point. If you guys didn't know, I am celibate by choice. Like, I surrendered my love for women. I am now celibate because I was at a really tough spot in life with the business, and we needed something. And I remember I told God, I said, I will give up the one thing I love more than you, which is women, and my constant desire to be intimate with these women. If you just help us get out of it, like literally same week, man, like 20K within 2 days, like, and it literally kept us alive. And I said, okay, like I've surrendered it. And up until now, I still have not been intimate with a woman because I know how dangerous it is for me. Every day I'm fighting this Thompson that's right here. He's right there whispering in my ear, and I have to try my best to just avoid him at all costs because he is very dangerous. And I don't want to let him out again because he's a messed up dude. And he was so addicted to instant gratification. So I get it. But if you're young, or even if you're not young, and you still are addicted to instant gratification, and you go inside your bedroom and you pull up on your phone some videos and you start wanking the chicken, like, stop it. It's destructive. You have no idea the amount of power that you'll have if you just don't do that. And I can give you tips and tricks. If you notice, it starts with free time. Anytime that you dive into your vices and you do things that are self-destructive, it all starts with free time. You have nothing to do. And so since you have nothing to do, you're like, well, I don't really want to sum up the energy to do something difficult, like go on a walk, go to the gym, go on a run. I'll just lay in bed. What's going to make me feel good, right? Free time leads to boredom. Boredom leads to the desire to stimulate your mind. So now you're like, okay, I'm bored. Netflix, boom. Okay, that's stimulated. How about a bag of chips? Boom. Okay, that's stimulated. What about now? Drugs, alcohol, watch a video, play with the chicken. And then now you've entertained your vices. And it all started with free time. So if you want to avoid all of it, stay busy. Literally stay busy. If you have the desire to do nothing, to avoid it, do something. If you have this desire and you are going to go into the bedroom and do whatever the heck you do behind closed doors, and you know it's self-destructive, just stay busy. Do something. Leave the house. Go to a coffee shop and just sit on your phone. Do something. Anything. Literally anything. And I promise you, you can avoid all your vices. Next one, habits that are making men weak. Lack of confidence. And confidence isn't faked. Confidence isn't... Because faked confidence is very easy to spot and it's not respectable. Faked confidence just doesn't make sense. It's kind of like... It's similar to you saying that you're an athlete, but you're 120 pounds and you have no muscle or athletic capabilities. Confidence cannot be faked. It has to be earned. Confidence is having evidence that you've done things. So if I'm confident that I can sell, it's because I have a stack of evidence that I know how to sell. And I've sold things that are cheap and things that are expensive. If you are confident that you can run a 10K, it's because you have a stack of evidence that you've ran a 10K before and that you're a pretty good runner. Lack of confidence means you have nothing to prove. You have nothing to, it's not that you have nothing to prove. Lack of confidence means you have nothing to back up your claims. That's why you're not confident. Here's a good example, because I know a lot of young men watch me. If you are not confident and you're very scared to approach women or ladies or girls, whatever, it's probably because you don't have a stack of evidence that you've done it successfully. If you've done it successfully, if you've been able to approach women, if you've been able to approach the ladies and the girls, and you've been able to speak to them confidently, and they are just they're so into you because you're so charming, and your eye contact is so intense, and you make them feel nervous, then you'll be confident because you know that, hey, I've done this before, and then there's no reason not to be confident. So remember that if you're not confident, it's because you have nothing to back up your claims. You haven't done anything. Once you start doing things, you'll be confident. I guarantee you. If you're not confident and you don't like talking to people, it's probably because you're not good at talking to people. So start talking to people. And who cares if you suck? Just start. Or talk to your damn self. Or talk to a camera like I do. Something. Right? And that's what confidence is. It's just having evidence to back up your claims. That's confidence. It's repetitive practice of something to where it becomes second nature and it becomes natural to you. And it's not difficult, but it's just, hey, I've done this before. I'm good, confident, right? If you've been driving for a long time, when you get in a car, are you nervous? You remember when you first got into, you guys remember when you first got into a car at a young age and you were learning how to drive and you're like, oh my gosh. And then now it's just like, oh my gosh, it's so boring. And you're confident. It's not even confidence, but it's like, this is so boring. Why? Because you've done it enough times. Repetition that you're like, dude, I've drove before. It's okay. Right? Use that example. And then that is the same thing for everything else. Talking to people, being confident, learning how to sell business, knowing yourself. That's what confidence is. Just do it enough times so that you're familiar with it to where it becomes second nature. And then now you have evidence that you know how to do it. And you will naturally be confident. Next one that are making men weak: uncertainty and fear, the inability to make a decision or take a risk. When you regress all of that down, you are fearful because of failing and you're fearful of it not working. Who cares? And I wish I could just give this feeling to every single one of you because I failed a lot. I've been in a good spot and I had to humble myself back to minimum wage and start all over again. I failed. This feeling is exactly what every single one of you are trying to escape. I wish I can just let you feel it because it's not that bad. Why? Because one, no one cares. A lot of the times you're fearful because you think people care about you and they will judge you and they'll ridicule you and they'll make fun of you and they'll post on social media, ha, what a loser. No, they don't. They have their own problems going on. They have their own lives, their own kids, their own family issues, their own money issues, financial problems. Like, they don't care about your failure. Like, dude, they don't care. And they don't have time to judge you either because they're too busy focused on their life. And so fear is predicated on what would happen if I fail. And if you fail, what can possibly go wrong? People have things to say, and that's about it. It's your fear of showing everyone the failing side. Failing to realize that the failing side is what inspires some people. Why am I so open about my failures? Because it inspires people. It shows you that, one, I'm authentic, and two, I'm human just like you. I fail. And at least I'm going to document it here. Uncertainty is the acknowledgement of risk and reward. And so you're uncertain. You're like, should I do this? Should I do this? You don't need to overthink it. You need to either jump in with both feet or you don't. That's all you have to do. Jump in with both feet or just stay stuck in the same predicament, the same position, and just live in a constant loop. You have to be certain with everything you do. Don't say, I don't know. Say, give me a second, I'll figure it out. Or say yes or no. Fast. Certainty. And there's nothing to fear. And if you are living in fear, this is what helped me. So if nothing else is working for you and you don't know how to get rid of fear, maybe you can try this. You will die. And in 100 years, everyone that you loved, everyone that had terrible things to say about you, people that supported you, that had your back, will die with you. And none of this will matter anyways. So you have one life to make it happen. We live every day. Every day we live. So use the opportunity every day to take the risks that no one else will. Because what's the worst that's going to happen? And there's no such thing as failure if you simply do not stop. I guarantee you, you cannot fail if you don't stop. It is impossible. If you don't stop, you will win. Guaranteed. And if you don't win, then you definitely avoid failure by just not stopping. And that's the hardest thing, is to keep going. Entrepreneurship, business, fitness, anything is a game of who can last the longest. It's not the game of who's the best, who's the most genetically gifted. No, it's the game of who can last the longest. You can go face to face with someone that's genetically gifted in bodybuilding, but if he quits before you, you can freaking crush him. Same with business. You'll crush your competitors if you just don't stop, because while they're struggling and they gave up, you're still trying to figure it out. You're going. Be certain and don't fear anything. Take the risk, because none of this matters anyways. Prove it to yourself that you are capable, not the world. Screw them. Screw the external validation. Like, screw all that. Yourself. You have something to prove to yourself, your legacy, your bloodline, your last name. Do it for you. And it starts with understanding that nothing bad can happen if you fail. You learn, and you have a great story to tell. And if you win, even better. You have an even better story to tell. Next one. Not trying to be physically fit. I think this is something that is very important. Men throughout thousands of years have been known to be quite strong, capable, physically capable. It's a shame for any man to grow old, and it was a quote, I forget by who, but I've heard it a while back. And it's a shame for a man to grow old without seeing the limits of what he can push his body to, what his body is capable of. When you are physically fit, it took work to get there. When you train, it's intense mental focus. It's persevering through pain. It's purposely putting yourself through pain for a reward. And that's why going to the gym is really cool, because going to the gym, as you get a pump, you are literally seeing a future version of you in the moment. And so it's a form of instant gratification, which is why sometimes the gym is so addicting to people, because they want that pump, because they are seeing a future version of them right now in the present moment. So they're seeing what they will obtain if they keep going now. And that's why some people love the gym, right? They get a pump on, their arms are double the size, they're all puffed up, and they're like, oh my gosh, if I keep at this in 3 months, 4 months, 6 months, I'm gonna look like this. And so I'm getting a preview of what I'll look at, or what I'll look like if I don't stop. If that was the same case for business or any other game in life, it'd be magnificent. If you can get a preview of what you'll be at in terms of what you make annually in your business, my gosh, you'll keep at it, right? Being physically fit trains your mind to endure difficulty and pain. It trains your mind to say, I like this, because in persevering past this, will I become a better man? Throw on a 60-pound vest and walk uphill, and you'll be like, oh my gosh. And you got to sum up every amount of strength it takes just to make it up there. And then you got to walk down. And after that, you're not going to die. And then after that, you become that much better. And so you now have another piece of paper to pile on that stack of evidence that you can do the hard things. I believe that being physically fit is so important. It will help you in so many areas. When you meet people, they have to respect you because they see you and they're like, oh, this dude puts in work. When you handle business and you have business meetings, they'll be like, oh, I can trust him. Look at him. Look at how he carries himself. Look at his body. He cares for his body. He's going to care about my money. If he treats himself well, he's going to treat me well. It's very hard to disrespect someone in immaculate shape. When you see someone not in shape, you see them like, oh my gosh, you don't have the discipline. Oh my gosh, you don't care about yourself. And so I don't expect you to care about me. Look at you. Get in impressive, highly impressive, capable, physical shape. Become fit. Lift some weight, pick up some heavy things, learn how to fight. We're fighters. We're naturally born aggressive, dominant, masculine fighters. We have to harness that, enhance it, and then control it to where we won't even hurt a fly, step on an ant. We are peaceful, but don't provoke us. We're a hibernating bear. If you wake us up, we will attack, right? Next one, trying to impress people, especially trying to impress women. And if I have any women in here, hey, listen, hold up, pause. You know I'm not like that. Young men, I understand that in the early stages of life, you want to impress the women because they are the prize. And to a degree, they are. You guys have no idea how valuable a good woman is. There's nothing better than going home after a long day when the world has torn us apart to see the big ball of sunshine known as your lady. And you just put your head on her stomach and she tells you everything's going to be okay. And she just massages your head with her nails. And she cooks you a homemade meal and poured her heart into it. There's nothing more beautiful than that. I think a woman has so much value. You give her a house, she turns it into a home. You give her your seed, she gives you life. You give her emotions, she gives you love. But these are women, ladies, grown, mature women who've had time to reflect and get to that state. Just like how it takes some men time to become a masculine man that can guide a woman of that caliber, that can nurture a woman of that caliber, that can care for a family, protect a family and be the foundation of a home, the pillar of a house. Similar to us, it takes us time to develop into that man. It takes the ladies time to develop into that woman. And so if you're young, the likelihood of you meeting a woman like that is very low. For the most part, if you're young, you're meeting girls. There's a big difference from a girl and a woman, and a boy and a man. Girls don't know about that. Girls are just, from what I've seen, they're just obsessed with nonsense. They don't know the half of what it takes to be a capable woman, a divine woman. They don't. They're girls. And so if you're a young man, don't try to impress girls. Impress yourself, and in doing so, as you try to impress yourself, you'll just naturally impress the masses. Focus on you. Don't try to impress people. People can see right through your fraudulent act. If you don't know how to fight, don't act like you know how to fight. If you're not connected with anyone, don't act like you're connected with anyone. And if you're going to do it, make sure you're a damn good liar, because if you're not, your reputation just decreases. You have no idea how many times I've met people in my life. I come off very confident, and it used to be forced when I was younger, but then it just became natural because I just have a stack of evidence to prove why I'm confident. I've spoken in front of crowds. I've spoken in front of people. I can do live broadcasts and talk for hours. I have a stack of evidence, right? And I'm not the most terrible looking human on planet Earth, right? I have a stack of evidence to back it up, and so I come off very confident, and it may come off subliminally as arrogance, cocky, full of myself. It's not forced, though. And sometimes this confidence really triggers and kind of irritates a lot of people that don't have this level of confidence. And so they'll either attack or they'll try to match my level of confidence. And I can see, I know when I'm speaking to someone, and I know if they're just confident, like they're about it. And then I know if I can talk to somebody, look into their eyes, and I can see if they're about it. And if they're not about it, and if they're trying to be about it, despite them not being about it, I don't have respect for them, because I'm like, who are you trying to impress? Me? So I believe in impressing the only person that matters, which is you. And I promise, in doing so, when you try to impress yourself and be the best version of yourself, you will just garner the attention of everyone around you, because you are that good. And everyone's like, oh my gosh. I believe the new word nowadays, I think the kids call it aura. You start having an aura. You just have a different energy, man. You carry yourself differently. You're on a whole nother playing field, right? Don't try to impress people. I've been there, done that. I've tried to impress people around me, and I cannot imagine how fraudulent I seem to be in their eyes. Learn from my mistakes. Avoid my stupidity. Next one, and this is the last one. Not having a goal or a vision. This is the last thing that are making men weak, is not having a goal or a vision. It doesn't have to be the highest resolution, dream, or vision. You just need to establish one. See where you want to go, and it's low resolution. It's blurry. You don't know how you're going to get there, but just see it. Like, okay, this is where I'm headed. So at least now you can take actions, and kind of, as you take actions and you take the proper steps, they begin to be pieces of the puzzle that create a higher resolution image. Let's say, for example, you know you want to be an entrepreneur and you just don't know what. Service-based business, product-based business. Are you going to build a brand? What are you going to do? Let's say you want to be a business owner and you want to start a business and you want to sell products. Okay. You just know you want to be a business owner. Okay. As you just start taking action and you start learning, you'll start to see, oh, well, I like this. Maybe I should do this. And let's say you like selling rulers. And now, boom, you've established a path. Not having a vision or a goal is how you perish, because you're blind, mindless, and you are just floating and drifting through the cosmos with no definite purpose. And you have no directed intention. You have no idea where you're headed. You're just there. So avoid that at all costs. And you can avoid that by simply saying, this is where I want to be. This is who I want to be. And this is what I expect my life to be like. It doesn't have to be fully in detail. It doesn't have to be in depth. Just establish it. And the details will come as you just start living every day and you just start progressing and trying to piece it all together. That's where you get the full resolution image. We can never figure life out. We can't. And things never go our way. That's why it's not important to fixate on the details. Just see the end goal, done. Keep the end goal in mind, go. If you want to be a better man, better man. How do I do it? I don't know. But I will start today. Okay, let's start with physical. Okay, I'm going to the gym, done. And let's say you got that done, you got that down, and you're physically in shape now, and you're doing this. Okay, what about mentally? Am I intelligent? No. All right, time to pick up a book, start learning. What about emotionally? Am I acting like an infant boy? Maybe I am. Okay, now let's reflect inwards, right? I want to be a better man. Okay, what about physical things? How am I looking financially? Not too good. Okay, how can I obtain more money? All right, let's figure this out. What can I do, right? And as you progress, you will just naturally figure things out. The pieces of the puzzles will just come. And you're like, oh, I got it all figured out. That's what success is. It's a bunch of small wins until it's a big win that everyone sees. It's a bunch of small wins that nobody sees until you finally hit that one big win that everyone sees. And then they think you got lucky. That's it. To sum it all up, in this day and age, there's a lot of weak men. The number of fathers are slowly decreasing. Men cannot step up to the plate. They're not worthy enough. They're not good enough to father their own child, which is pitiful to me. And that leaves us with no guidance. And so if we don't have guidance, it's a lot easier for us to do the weak things that everyone else does. You're different from the crowd. All of us. If you watch my videos, you're different from the crowd. You're different from them. You're the black sheep. You're a winner. You're not a loser. And the first step is to acknowledge what makes you weak and avoid it. Just avoid it. And you have to sum up a lot of courage to avoid these self-destructive behaviors. That means being able to say no. That means not going out to the club. That means no drinking. That means no drugs. That means not being bored. Stay busy. Always stay busy. Try your best to stay busy. Try your damn best. Like, please. And don't do it for the validation of others. Do it because you want to impress yourself, because you made a promise to yourself. Don't break that promise. And definitely don't lie to yourself. You're not born to be weak. You've just been taught to behave in a way that makes you weak. But you have to be strong, capable, competent, aggressive, dominant, primal. You have to be this angry, animalistic being that can demolish everything in sight, and then you control it. Then you become a samurai in a garden, not a garden at war. It's better to be a samurai in a garden than to be a gardener in a battlefield. So become the best version of yourself. You focus on emotional, mental, physical. That creates who you are, The sum of who you are is who you are physically, your physical capabilities, who you are mentally, the scope of your intelligence, who you are emotionally. The abstract reflections and meditations of who you are. Are you in tune with that? You work on those three things and you'll become a better man. And if all else fails, you can buy a book called King, Warrior, Magician, Lover. I always recommend it. Transformed my life, and I will always share it with you because I truly believe it's a great read. 160 pages, not difficult. Literally transformed my life. Opened my eyes to see how underdeveloped I truly was. It made me see aspects of boyhood in me that was not solved, and it helped me transcend to manhood. Good luck.